káàbọ̀ sí gbọ̀ngàn John Randle fún ìtàn àti àṣà Yorùbá. You're welcome to John Randle Centre for Yoruba History and Culture. My name is Kofi Fabumi, and I will be your tour guide and of course your storyteller today. The Yoruba people are wonderful people and they love storytelling a lot, and I can see you all too. You're all wonderful children. You must have heard different stories, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just enjoy yourself today and just be rest assured that you're going to have a wonderful time of storytelling. Now friends, look up here. Look at this diagram here. I'm sure you're seeing all of these signatures and all of these designs. Yeah? Some people wonder, what are these? These are the first method of documentation for Yoruba ancestors. These are the very first method they designed to document a whole lot of things. As you see all of these things, there are about 256 of these designs. They are called signatures. And in each of them, you have different verses. And all of these verses contain information ranging from history to medicine to folklore and an overview of it is the encyclopedia of the Yoruba knowledge. Do you know what the Yoruba people call it?
Yoruba
people, what they call it? They call it Oduifa. Oduifa. That you see there, it's a mold. It's a clay work representing kings from Ile-Ife. But it's a significance of the Orisha of existence that helped, that mold, which is Obatala, the white. Obatala is the one they called Allah Moriti Mori Omotutu. He's the one that has the skill to mold, to help, to build. So it's a representation for Obatala.
Hi, my name is Wole Oyewole Salisu. I am the production manager for John Randle Centre for Yoruba Culture and History. And yeah, my function is to make sure all production work properly and successfully. And we handle productions here, whether original production or even people from the outside events. We manage it like it's our own. Trust me. Our center is not, like I said, it's John Randle Centre for Yoruba Culture and History. But in as much as that is the name, it is not political, neither is it tribalistic. Like, it's not tribal. So it is cultural. Igbo, Hausa, Egun, Takpa, any other language, even foreigners, even anywhere from any Western world, can always be a part of and of course, they've been coming around to John Randle Centre to see, to explore, and to also have the experience. So, I mean, that's what we are about.
This is the ancient library of the Yoruba people. You know what a library is? Where you get a lot of information. So every evening, fathers, mothers, children, wives, everybody gather under the moonlight, under the tree. And an elderly from the community comes out to do what? To tell them stories. These stories varies from myths, folklore, history. And from these stories, information has been passed from one generation to another. And through this information, a whole lot of children are being nurtured with etiquette, norms, and values of the Yoruba tradition. So this, under the tree, is the foremost ancient Yoruba library. And through storytelling, a whole lot of things have been passed on from generation to generation. And one of such things is an exercise that myself, I did not know who created it. When the storyteller comes, before he starts telling the story, he now says, "Hello," and everybody will say, "Hello." Can we try it? Can we try that exercise? When I say hello, you're going to say hello. Hello.
Hello. it's a place that's so much accommodating and so comfortable that you will not even know you've overspent your time, you know. Yeah, and everything is engaging from the gate. You start the experience down to wherever.
The first time I came, like even before I got to the museum, like I saw like the pool areas.
Yes.
The passage was just so lovely. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, like what else is here apart from the
course.
museum? Like are there other things like apart from the museum?
Of course. So we have the pool area, which we opened.
The pool was decorated by John Randle himself.
Yes. The pool, it's a very historical location that has its own story.
Now, for all of this to function within the Yoruba community, from the home to the industry to the market, there is one place where all of these all of these things are being controlled. Talking about administration, talking about who supersedes, who heads all of these things, and that brings us to the palace. So the Yoruba have somewhere they call the palace, where the king sits. Yeah, and this is called Kabiesi. Yeah, you see, that's his Ade. That's the Irukere, the horse, and that's the staff of office. So here is representing the seat of power. So the Yoruba people believed in monarchy system before we now have the political class now that we are now having, you know, democracy. And here, one of the executives within the king's palace is the Babalawo, the priest. Yeah, who is a representation of Orunmila. Orunmila is the Orisha for what? Knowledge and what? Wisdom. And this is the tool he uses, yeah, to help the Kabiesi to be able to administer, yeah, the village, the town, so that the town can be prosperous and successful. And that far to the right there is the Eyo Masquerade, typical with the Lagos people, yeah, Eyo. And here you have the Ekpa Masquerade, yeah, typical with the Ekiti people. And here is Gelede. Gelede Masquerade is typical with Ekpe, and of course, yeah, the Ketu people. When I say Ketu, I'm talking about the Benenoas, yeah. And we move on. This particular type of masquerade, the compound name for this type is called Oje. But within the Oje masquerade, you have other names too, and like the Ologbojo and what have you.
So we can't finish exploring John Randle. We can't finish creating different experience in John Randle. We are, because to every day we think, we brainstorm, we come together, we create, we reach out, we go out, we see stuff, we look at how can we incorporate this into the center as well. Yeah. You know, so the future is just too big. And in fact, December coming from September.
That is what is going to be crazy. Yeah.
It's always been very massive here. Yeah. But trust me,
this year is going to be hard.
This year is going to be double.
I mean, something we're going to love to be a part of at NoteSphere. So NoteSphere is like, you have an idea of what the brand is about. And we're particularly for creatives. What is John Randle for creatives? Like, what do you think, like, as a creative, as a young creative? Because like our audience are particularly about like 17 to 25, right? Or 17 to like 30 years old. What's particularly, when you think about like creativity, like can designers come here and like do like workshops, or like can filmmakers come here to film stuff? Because one of the issues like also is like a lot of the times like we're not allowed to film and do like things in Lagos. And do we have like designers, creatives, do we have opportunity to be able to explore things in John Randle?
True. So from even prior to this moment, just like yours, there's a process to come into John Randle to say I want to do stuff. So when you come, when we look at what you want to do, so see, the door of John Randle is open to everybody because
it was open to me. So.
Of course, so it's a public space.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's a public space. But notwithstanding, we control the kind of people that come in. So, because of course, it's better to control the people that come in before you start controlling the damages that the people, you know. So when same way you bring your stuff to us, your event to us, your thoughts to us, whatever function it is. And creatives, when they bring their stuff, we'll be like, okay, how do you want to do this? What is this? What is your projection? If we see that it seems your work is not cooked enough for this, it might not be a good representation of this place. We might tell you, you know what, go and work on this and come back and let's see how we can. But trust me, if we see that, oh, this content is what this person already has a proper direction and this is where the person is going to, of course, you're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. So creatives, of course, they've been coming, they will still come, and they are here again. You are here again.
For all of these tradition, values, norms, and culture of the Yoruba people, it falls on the backdrop of inspiration for the contemporary Yoruba professionals today. It inspires them for their works, and that's why you can see for every creative that you see today, they draw inspiration from the Yoruba tradition and culture. And as you can see, all of these paintings, if you read through the story, you know that they are all inspiration from Yoruba tradition and culture. And that takes us to movies and films, theater. And displayed here is the legendary theater practitioner, Dr. Hubert Ogunde, Moses Olaya Babasala. And it takes us on and on to the new generation filmmakers, Tunde Kilani, Kunle Afolayan, and Femi Adebayo, Funke Akindele, and the likes of it. And it brings us to music. Yoruba fathers, a whole lot of them, big grandpapas, grandfathers that have done music. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister, Ebenezer Obey, King Sunny Ade, and the legendary maestro of Afrobeat, Fela Aníkúlá Pọ̀kútì. And of course, you still have Yoruba superstars today. Which one do you know? Which one? Asake? You know Asake? Yeah, Yoruba singers. Sheyi Vibes, and so on and so forth. Olamide and what have you. All of these are Yoruba musical instruments. This is called Iyalu Bata, and this is called Omele Bata. This is called Iyalu Dundu, and this is called Ton Tele. Now I'm talking about today. Fashion. Remember I told you about the industry that the Yoruba created, and it has evolved to the contemporary times, and all of those textiles now are being used to make contemporary, contemporary fashion. So all throughout the whole world, you're going to see Yoruba textiles, doing greatly. To the right here is displaying what the Yoruba fathers too did in the advent of Nigeria's independence. What happened? The Obafemi Awolowos, the Ladoke Akintolas, the Herbert Macaulays, the Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, and the likes of it. Displayed here, the Yoruba people are known to be intellectually sound. They have that intellectuality, their prowess is very sound, and that's why you have displayed here literary works of Yoruba scholars. How many of you have heard of Professor Wole Soyinka before? Have you heard of him? Yes, good. So that is one of, and there are lots of them, okay? There's so many of them aside of Professor Wole Soyinka. So we are now at the final and the third phase, which is talking about the future. Welcome to the future. This is suggesting that this is what the future for the Yoruba energies, Yoruba tradition believe could look like. How many of you have seen Thor? How many of you have seen Avatar? How many of you have seen Wakanda? So this is just trying to depict and to say that for all of these Yoruba Orishas, this similar thing that it can be, so that people can stop just attributing negativity to them. So this is Oshun, a representation, a depiction of Oshun, goddess of fertility and beauty. Shango, Orisha for thunder and lightning, and of course, Sola. Oya, Orisha for thunderstorm, whirlwind. Asai, Orisha for forestry, medicine, and herbs. And there you have the tree of life. The tree of life is suggesting that if all of these energies are brought together, it can form a backdrop. It can form an industry for innovation and invention of different technology. This is what this is representing. And here you have an imagery, you have a story telling us that we are, for every individual, we are very, very important. We are connected to some very beautiful energies that can make us great, that can make us superheroes. Who wants to be a superhero here? You want to be a superhero? You're not even sure. Once again, my name is Kofi Vifabumi, and it's a pleasure to have been your storyteller today. Did you enjoy my storytelling? Are you sure you did?